TJ is a young man talking about shit, doesn't give a fuck about what you think. Topics to him are not a disgrace. He's gonna tuck your ear off all over the place. He is the man right now. He is the one to fight you. TJ Talks is the next best show. It's gonna be a next great hit. He doesn't care what you think. All he wants to do is... Heyo! Welcome to TJ Talks. We are live on this beautiful hot Friday. How's everyone doing today? So on today's show, I'm going to talk to you guys about the future of radio. Because why not? The future is not too far. And yeah, I just want to talk about it. So everyone knows what radio is. We listen to it all the time for music purposes and whatnot. And I, for one, am a communications major who plans to be on the radio when I graduate college in the next couple of years. So the future of radio, well, it's going out. Honestly, radio is going out. I mean, I know a guy, actually he's my relative, he works for radio, and he told me it's hard to find a job in the radio industry and he's trying to get a job somewhere else, but he can't seem to get a job because no one's going to hire him because radio is going out in the near future. And I don't really have any sources on that, but I have read up on my knowledge about, what the future of radio is going to be. And more or less the future of radio is going to be is podcasting, what I'm doing right now, pretty much. And podcasting has probably been going on for maybe since, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, I would imagine. And that's pretty much what people really listen to. I mean, Preston and Steve in the Morning, they have their own podcast channel. Mike Missinelli, Sports Talk Radio, has his own podcast channel. Elvis Duran has his own podcast channel. Everyone has a podcast on the podcast channel on your iPod, which pretty much that's what it's going to be like, because really no one listens to the radio anymore, honestly. We have smartphones, we have, iPhones, we have internet, we have YouTube, we have Pandora, iHeartRadio, we have all these different radio stations and music stations out there that we don't really listen to the radio that much because we're always on our smartphones. And yeah, I mean, that's why radio is going out of business. Literally, technology is kicking the radio's ass. It's really thrown out the door. iHeartRadio has more than maybe 1 million subscribers out there. So does Pandora. And the podcast channel, I mean, people really don't have time to listen to the radio because they're either at work or, doing something else in the morning or in the afternoon. So people really just go on the podcast thing on their iPod or whatever they find on the internet, whatever website or whatever you use, and they just listen to it on there. So basically, radio is going out of business, and the futures of radio is going to be podcasting and Sirius satellite radio. Now, I read a story on here back in 2014. Apparently, radio, according to the nextweb.com, says radio is going to be out of business. I mean, it's still, it's still working, radio, still working, but a new era has come. So apparently, about 92% of Americans aged 12 to older listen to broadcasting radio at least once a week, a mere 2% down from 2002. And radio sets are sold all around, all year round. So pretty much it says the future of radio will be podcasts. So if I do my podcast in the morning, people who don't have time to listen to it, they will pretty much just be listening to it on at night, I guess. Like, say if I do my podcast in the morning, they don't have time to listen to it because they're working. Well, they can go on the the podcast channel at night and listen to it. We also have Sirius satellite radio,
which is coming out. Well, which is out. It's been out for a long time, actually. Yeah. Say, Sirius Satellite Radio, iHeartRadio, subscription services, which pretty much falls hand in hand with Sirius Satellite Radio, web and mobile streaming devices, SoundCloud. Yeah, SoundCloud's another one that's kicking radio's ass. But yeah, I mean, traditional radio is pretty much going out of business because we have all these, things going on, and which technology just is technically ruining everything. Let's see. Blockbuster has been ruined because of Redbox, Netflix, Hulu. TV's ruined because of Netflix, Hulu, and all that. And I won't be surprised if TV will be out in the next 20 years. Yeah, in the next 20 years, I won't be surprised that radio and TV will be out of business because we have Netflix, Hulu, SoundCloud, Sirius. You have all these websites, all these sites where you can catch any TV show for free. Mostly Hulu, if they're just subscribed to it, I guess, the show. But yeah, mostly everything's going to go out of business because of Hulu, Netflix, and everything that's going to happen. But yet, we can still watch a lot of things. Now, I don't think news will go out of business necessarily yet. I mean, the news is still going strong, and news is like an everyday thing too. So pretty much, if you're like a big news guy like my old teacher was, I mean, then you probably would be, news will probably be there for a long time. But, I mean, back then, when radio was, back in World War II, it was really just it was like an AM station. There was no FM back in, like, 1930 to 1940s. It was mostly for people, I guess, soldiers to communicate with one another. And it was basically, like, broadcasting what's going on throughout the war, like World War I and II. That's what really AM radio was all about back in like 1940s. Now FM came along shortly after, if I'm not mistaken. It probably came out maybe after World War II, and that's when Howard Stern was on, argumentatively one of the best radio shock jocks out there. And actually, he is one of the best. He's changed the face of radio. I mean, look at him now. He went from being on terrestrial radio. He went through so many radio stations, broke the law, had like almost more than $1,000 worth of FCC fines, Federal Communications Center. He had over $1,000 fines from just saying, raunchy material. And, yeah. And now he's on Sirius Satellite Radio, and he's been on there for 10 years, and he's going back on for another 5 years, he said back in 2015, he's going on for the next 5 years, where Sirius Satellite Radio nowadays, if you're subscribed to Sirius Satellite Radio, you can listen to whatever you want. You can listen to Z100, which is what Elvis Duran is on, but Elvis Duran is syndicated through Philadelphia. You can listen to Los Angeles radio. You can listen to Pipple radio. You can listen to all these different radio stations. And Sirius Satellite Radio, the future that they're doing, they're working on an app where you could, I guess if you're doing a talk show or whatever, you could stream a live video stream of that going on. Now I heard that listening to Howard Stern the other day, actually a couple months ago when he renewed his contract. He said that they're working on an app where you could stream live video of whatever the cast is doing, which is what pretty much I feel like I want to do when I'm older. I want to be on Sirius Satellite Radio. Then I can curse all the damn time. But yeah, I mean that's what Howard Stern is that's what he said he's working on, a live stream, a video stream on Sirius Satellite Radio. So pretty much the future of radio, we really don't even know. But I can tell you that Sirius is still going to be around probably for the next 20 years. SoundCloud will still be out. iHeartRadio, Pandora. Let's see. SoundCloud. Podcasting will be out. Interactive radio, which is, smartphone and all that. I mean, we don't really know if radio is going out of business per se, because I mean, everybody listens to radio. No matter who you are, you listen to radio. Even if you're listening on your phone, you're still listening to the radio, kind of. I mean, terrestrial radio will be out there for maybe, I could say another 20 more years. I would say that. 20 more years. And the thing that I want to do, I want to have my own talk show. And, I mean, I will have to wait another 10 years maybe, and I'll work my way up to what I want to be. Because, I mean, we still have Preston and Steve out there, John DeBella, Elvis Duran, Ryan Seacrest is out there. We still have all these other great radio stations. Mikey Miss, Anthony Gargano. We have all these great radio hosts that are still out there. Howard Stern, I really don't care about how. I mean, he's on Sirius. He's not on terrestrial anymore. I mean, that's one good thing. But yeah, I'd like to have my own talk show and do all that with the future of radio. But, I mean, terrestrial radio will still be around maybe for another 10, 15, 20 years, I would say. Maybe 15 years to be safe. But, yeah, I mean, hopefully in the next, years I'll be on my own podcast channel, which I kind of do now, but I'll be, like, really big and popular. I'll probably try to work my way up to Sirius Satellite Radio or be on iHeartRadio. Maybe you guys will be listening to me in the next, 20 years. Who knows? Or in the next 5, 10 years. Because I graduate in 2 more years, I graduate from college. So hopefully, hopefully that's it. So I'm TJ, and that's the end of the show today. I'll be back next Friday. I just did a week-long thing because school started, and I really wanted to be. I just wanted to do a special live 5-week special of school. Yeah, because school started and it was a great week. Yeah, that's why I did a 5-week special. There will be more 5-week specials probably in, next month maybe. Maybe the week of Halloween where I'll do like a Halloween movie review, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, school started. It's been a great 5 days actually. School's kicking my ass. What can I say? But yeah, I'll be back next Friday. Talking about God knows what. I'll figure it out in the week. So yeah, I'll see you guys next Friday. Have a nice weekend. Don't drink and drive. Have fun doing whatever you do. I'm going to the movies in about 25 minutes. So yeah, I'm TJ, and yeah, peace out. Have a nice weekend. See you guys next week.